Welcome back, everyone. I am here with Ian Kahangara. My name is Rina Hicks. We are from FIDA Investment Bank, and we are discussing the Oak Special Fund performance for quarter 3 2025. We've kind of come to the end. We're landing the plane with this video, but there are a few things we want to highlight. Okay, so the first thing, we're now on the second page, so you can turn yours to the second page. So we're looking at our fact sheet. So we've got their quarterly performance since inception, which was February 2024. And then we've got a month-on-month performance for the year 2025. So we actually give details on a quarterly basis, but beyond that, on a monthly basis. You would not typically see this in most special funds because it's not a requirement by the regulator, but we choose to be transparent just to know. And there's a client, Ian, who said to me, don't tell me, I don't want to know, you're disturbing me, you're giving me stress by telling me how you perform, but we prefer to be transparent. And so we've got their January, February, and so on. We also issue statements monthly. And so those of you who are our clients, you will notice every single month, usually on the 5th of the month, we send out our statements to our clients. So now, if you just go below there, we have a 1 million simulation from February 2024. So which means if you started with 1 million shillings, February 2024, as at 30th September 2025, you would have 511,398. Ian, let me just ask you this question, because it comes all the time. Like every week, there's somebody who asks me this question. Does my money compound? When I invest with Oak Special Fund, does my money compound? Maybe you can just break it down for us.
Thank you. That is one heavy question, a question that you can't have just one answer. But the simplest answer would be yes, it does compound. And what's the best thing? Because I have seen people who on a monthly basis want to actually withdraw their income. We call it income, not interest, because it comprises of various things. So there's direct profits, there's interest income, and there is capital gains that comes from revaluation. So does my money compound? Is it on a daily? Is it on a weekly, monthly, or yearly? If you look at the simulation, I'll start from the simulation, and you'll be able to understand. From the simulation, you say 1 million invested in February, by September, would have grown to 1.511. Give or take, it's actually saying that you have had a 51% absolute return. If you go back to the fact sheet in terms of what was the return for the fund for last year, the absolute was 29.38. The absolute being 29.38 plus the absolute for this year, which is 13.65, you'll actually get 44.03. So you are saying that on a fund level, absolute, you should be at 44.03. But a 1 million invested last year is at around 51%. What does that mean? First, remember, there is a difference always between the fund return and the client return. You stay longer, you are most likely to experience the whole investment strategy, and most likely you're supposed to have higher returns than the fund. I won't go into the issue of dilution, but I'll explain later. Now, the main question was, how does it compound? Yeah. If you look at various asset classes, and I'll start with the simple ones. So if you place a fixed deposit for 3 months, so on a daily basis, we do distribute the earned interest. However, this is not received interest. Compounding means that whatever you've earned can be picked and reinvested either in the same place or another place to earn more. So until the end of 3 months, that's when we will receive the actual interest and we are able to reinvest. So for that particular investment, you'll find that it will compound after 3 months once we receive the interest to invest. Let us look at another asset class, maybe currency trading. Sometimes we can have intraday currency trading, whereby you buy Euro USD in the morning and by evening you have sold and made your profit. Remember, the profit are ready for reinvestment. So intraday, you've actually compounded within that asset class. And others will take longer. Others will take longer, others will take shorter periods. We can buy even long-term instruments, but they compound faster. Let me give an example, fixed income. So we can go for a primary issue by the government, and immediately it's out. 1 week later, we have sold. So we've made profit, we have all the money, and we can reinvest. That's why there's no absolute answer to say that this fund compounds on a daily, monthly, weekly. But it's always good to assume that it compounds on a yearly basis. But the longer you keep your money, if actually you invest 1 million and one person withdraws every end month their income, and the other person leaves the money until the end of the year, you'll have totally different earnings because of the money that was retained.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so valuable, so valuable. Guys, the idea here is to continually keep your money invested. I mean, wealth comes over time, and wealth begins with an income of whatever kind. Once you have that income, what you need to do is consistently invest and keep investing. So it's not just, I invest this month. You consistently keep investing. And with that income, consistency and time, you will become wealthy, irrespective of where you are today. So just start. Even if you're starting with a money market fund, if you decide you want to start with equities, it doesn't matter. Let's just keep the consistency going. The longer you keep your money, as Ian says, the longer you benefit, the better you earn. And so, yeah, please start if you haven't, and we'd be happy to serve you in your journey. Have a wonderful day or evening, wherever you're watching this from. This is Ian and Rina signing out. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.